This is part 2 to the Science and Industry Museum at Manchester. The last part of museum, unfortunately, the train locomotive, I think, was closed at the time, so I didn't visit it, obviously, so no footage from there. But here we are at the Air Museum. So I can't actually tell you much about the planes and objects in the museum because, one, it was a long time ago that we went, and unfortunately I'm not very good at video turnover, and two, I was just more impressed with the size and what was actually there rather than the information around them. There are signs in the video, and if you want to stop, pause the video, feel free to do so. There wasn't just planes and helicopters, there were cars of the time, and I believe as a reference to the size because they put some next to massive ones. And just maybe to show the compatibility or the comparability of what was on the ground and what was in the sky. You think about these like clunky cars going around and these massive monsters in the sky. I tried to get some new shots, new format of shots, and I'm just trying to share my experience of it. So just bear with, because I'll get better at it as we go along. This is my favourite, I think, because it stands at the back and it's taken up the whole width of the floor, the floor where they put the planes. But it seems so small at the same time. It can only hold 12 people on the few backs that I can remember, and the fuselage just seems small. It does, for the size, with the 4 propellers that it has, 2 like a Chinook and then 2 at the back to propel it forward. It just seems small. And like looking at the cockpit is tiny, and you would not want to be flying in that. So it's just mind-boggling, and I love it. This seems to be the best quality photo that we have. Leave a comment to tell me which one you thought was the best one. This was not one I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a full one to be here. I don't know if it's a replica but after reading and learning about them, just the way that they were strapped in, forced to be in it, is just so sad and stuff. You think the Germans had like V2 rockets that were just autopiloted. The Japanese still had to strap people in to do it. The Air Museum was, although short, especially since it was a bit leaky, so bits were closed off, but it was another great part of the whole museum as a whole. I think this place is probably a bit better than the other side, although short, and it's not as interactive for maybe younger kids. It's much more interesting to a wider audience, I'd said. Because I'm not saying that the history of Manchester's cotton plants, cotton factories is not interesting in the way that the kids are used as all horrific and stuff, but the size and magnitude of the planes there is just much easier to get into. They really showed the progression of things in this museum as well, which is another thing I loved, because you start off with looking at like the kites and the biplanes and stuff, and eventually you get to like bigger and like the jets, and the last thing you see is just the jet engines. But you also see like electric cars, and then the small electric bike thing, I can't remember the name of it, but that no one really liked because it was too small. But it shows that things are still moving. So overall, if you can visit, obviously do. If you've got the time, if you've got like the time to kill, go to the museum. It's free to go around to both parts, maybe even the third if it's up and running by the time you go. Definitely give it a go because it's worth it. No reason not to. And it is fun to walk around and see these massive planes just towering over you, and it does really get into sense of like size and scale of things. And it kills a good bit of time, and even more if you're into planes, and especially if some of the ones there you haven't seen before. But it is short, and it's not interactive like the other side, so if you need something to be doing, then the science part of the other museum was good. I believe there was a small interactive bit for the cotton and the industry bit, but I didn't get that if you watched the last one. But remember, there will be some more. There'll definitely be another museum we went to, and there might be another surprise one, but it might not happen because the footage, I didn't take my good camera because I forgot to record and take photos, so I was using my phone, and it might be a bit bad because the lighting's all off and the scale is really mad. I might try and do something, but like, subscribe, and go and explore. Good night.